Snow White has dropped in theaters, so let's talk about it.
Father's kingdom, a place of fairness, but the queen.
After Snow White's mother dies, her father gets remarried and then goes on a quest and never returns. So Snow White's stepmother, who is now the evil queen, tries to kill her, so Snow White flees into the woods to try and get some help and learn what really happened to her father, and also try and survive. Obviously, you guys know this is the live-action remake. It's starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. So, is this just another dreadful Disney live-action remake film, or is it something new and something special? Let's find out and get to the review. Let's go. Please let me know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Did you love it? Please let me know what you thought of Snow White in the comments. Also, all the reviews I do are spoilers. If you're not okay with spoilers, go watch the movie, then come back and watch this video. Also, I have a lot of content on my channel. Check those out once this video is done. We're kicking off things with the positives. Okay, the first positive I have for this movie is Rachel Zegler. I thought Rachel Zegler was great in this movie. And, she's just perfect. She just fit right into the role of Snow White. And half of that is because of her singing voice. Holy. Her singing voice is just great. And, all the songs that she sang, I really enjoyed them. I really, really liked them. And they're the best songs in the movie. The Evil Queen song, no. And there's a couple other songs, from the Dwarves and stuff, no. But the songs that she sang were really good. My favorite songs in the movie, for sure. So Rachel Zegler, my favorite part of the movie. And you can tell I don't have a lot of favorite things about this movie. Most of them are negatives, but my favorite part of the movie is definitely Rachel Zegler. My next positive is the true love story. Now, this is a weird one because Rachel Zegler came out and said that this movie really does not focus on the true love story. And that is right and wrong. It's wrong because, yes, we do have a true love story, and it doesn't really focus on that much, but when it does, I really enjoyed it between her and, I think his name is Eric. I get him confused because in The Little Mermaid, Ariel's boyfriend is Eric as well. Prince Eric, I'm pretty sure. So I kind of get them confused, I don't know. And I saw the movie yesterday, so how do I not remember? I don't know. Comment down below and correct me, please. But I'm pretty sure it's Eric. But anyways, their relationship, I really enjoyed it. They start off as, he's a thief, and she's a princess, that's, rich, lives in a castle, but she has a pure and, lovable heart or whatever, and, she lets him steal the food and stuff, even though the queen captures him eventually. She frees him. Then eventually, once, the queen tries to kill her, she makes a run for it and flees into the forest, and then eventually runs into him and his, gang of thieves or whatever who are trying to take down the queen. And, at one point, he takes an arrow for her, so you can eventually really tell that they're falling in love. And then eventually she eats the poisoned apple. If you've seen the original, you know this. But yeah, she eats the poisoned apple. She dies. He comes, kisses her. She comes back to life. And then, yeah, take down the evil queen. So I did like their kind of adventure together or whatever, true love story. Even though it's not as good as the original movie. Even though I don't really care for the original movie's relationship just because it's animated and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with animated movies. I love animated movies, but the original Snow White just didn't, I don't know what to explain here, but it just didn't have it as good. but not as the live action. I think like the relationships are almost tied. Maybe I like the animated one a little bit more, but whatever. They're both disappointing with their relationships, but the live action one, more disappointing. I wish we got so much more. I wish it focused on the true love story a lot more. Then, like, because it focused on more of the dwarves' like friendship with Snow White than it did with Eric and Snow White's true love story. So, yeah, no. I wish we got the true love story more. Okay. Third positive is, it's not really a positive, but like, is the original animated Snow White better than the live action remake Snow White? And yes, it is. The live action one, disappointing film. We'll talk about like all its problems, obviously, and the negatives, which we always do. But definitely the animated original is a lot better. And that's mostly the case. Sometimes the live actions turn out to be better. Like The Jungle Book, I think that the live action is better than the animated films. Cruella, even though it's not a straight up remake, I still think that's better than the 101 Dalmatians movies. So sometimes, rarely happens, but sometimes the live action turns out to be better than the original animated film. But in this case, no. Animated film, so much better. Well, not so much better, but it is better than the live action. Even though I've only seen the original once, and that was a very long time ago. I don't like to rewatch like if there's a remake of this movie, most of the time I don't like to rewatch the original before I go see the remake, because then I'm just putting it in my brain what happens and what's going to happen in the remake. So I don't like to do that. So yeah, I haven't seen the original in like 3 years, but still, I can easily tell, and I still remember a lot from that movie. It's definitely better than the live action. I can't say that enough. It is. And yeah, so it's not really a positive. I don't even know why I put that in there, but yeah, it's definitely, the original animated film is definitely better than the live action Snow White. Yeah, let's head to the negatives. Alright, so my first negative I have for this movie is how like the animals are used as CGI. Now, when you look at The Lion King from the live action remake from 2019, that was used with like CGI animals. That was really weird because there's not supposed to be humans and there isn't humans in it. So, why are you using CGI for the animals? Like, you're putting no work into the movie. And again, sorry, not again, but we're not talking about The Lion King right now. We're talking about Snow White. But I'm just mentioning there that it looked really stupid. And again, Disney is going to keep using CGI because it's cheaper. And yes, they used it with the animals here. And that isn't that big of a problem because despite that, the animals don't have much screen time in this movie. But when they did, I was kind of like wishing that there could have been real animals here. But there wasn't. So that was kind of sad. But again, not a big problem. The big problem is the dwarves. Oh my gosh, man. The dwarves look so stupid and goofy. Like, I was laughing all the time when the dwarves were on screen. And they were on screen for, like, well over half the movie. Like, the movie isn't even titled Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's just Snow White. So, why are the dwarves getting that much screen time when their names aren't even in the title? And so, again, they just looked so stupid. And I was, like, laughing all the time because of how stupid they looked. People are, like, wondering, why is this kid laughing so much? Hey, sorry, but the dwarves look, like, so idiotic. Holy crap. But, yeah, just, no. Design for the dwarves, terrible. Like, originally they were supposed to use real people, and I would have loved real people here. But then they decided, nope, we're just going with the CGI route for the dwarves. Oh my gosh. Use real people. It's a live action movie. But yeah. Let's just change the subject from these stupid looking dwarves. And yeah, that next negative is Gal Gadot. And that pains me to say that because Gal Gadot, great actress. Like, I love her in Wonder Woman. I love her in, well, she's great in Red Notice. She's great in a lot of other stuff. But she is not great in this movie. Like, I don't know if it's her or, like, the person who wrote the script, whatever. Like, she just has the worst lines ever. And, like, every moment in this movie that she is on screen, like, she just ruins that moment with her bad lines. Like, holy crap. Like, just terrible lines. Terrible script. And, like, her song, it isn't terrible, but her song is probably, like, one of the weakest of the movie. It's not as bad as the Dwarves song, but still, it's not a good song. Like, Gal Gadot, I'm sorry, but you're not a great singer. You're not as good as Rachel Zegler. You're not even close. So, yeah. Not a great song, and she had just a terrible script. And again, it really pains me to say that, because she is a great actress, but Now, the third negative is kind of like her death, almost, because it's not a big negative, but, like, she dies all the guards, they turn on her, which obviously they should, because she's bad, but then after she like, goes up to her room to talk to the mirror, and, like, magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, which, honestly, kind of weird, but whatever. She does that, and then he says, nope, you're not, Snow White is. So then she slams the mirror with her diamond knife, and then she, like, turns into, like, the stone, and then gets sucked into the mirror, and the mirror just turns normal. Like, that was kind of a weird death. I wanted the death where she falls off the cliff. But we didn't get that, sadly, so it was a very odd death to the evil queen. And again, I wish we got her falling off a cliff. That would have been much better to see, especially in live action. I would have really liked that. Yeah, that's really about it for the negatives. There's probably a lot more. But yeah, let's get to the ratings. Alright, so I'm going to give Snow White a 5 out of 10. I thought it was an okay film, but it was really disappointing and, like, just a snooze fest. Like, I got really tired watching this movie. And just a movie that I would never go back to. So for that, I'm giving Snow White a 5 out of 10. I'll see you in the next one.